Alright guys, welcome back. Automotive Inc. here. So we are getting accessories put on the Ram. One, to make it more useful, and two, these are must-haves on any new, pretty much any new truck. The half tons, maybe you get away with it, but still the steps are part of life. So took this out on our first road trip. Of course, it didn't come from Ram with their steps, and probably just because of allocation issues and stuff to find for, like, you know, manufacturing. They probably found it easier to omit the steps so that way they could produce the trucks out instead of waiting on certain parts. Maybe that's not it, I don't know, but that's typically been what's happening. Well, this truck is too damn tall for many people to get into, so yeah, that's cool for somebody, but after a while the side of your seat's going to take its toll of people climbing in and climbing out. The handle on there is really not for holding the mass of a heavy person, you know, like some people will need to be when they get in these trucks. So you need some steps. Well, I'm going to put a link in the description after this video. I've used this brand of steps. It's Moto or something, I don't even know. Get them off the Zon. Black ones are less than like 190 bucks, and these chrome ones, which this truck has a little bit of chrome on it, that's what we're going to go with here, less than 150 bucks. You cannot beat that in the quality. I've ran these over and over again. They last just as good as OEM ones, look almost identical to OEM ones, and there is no sense spending your hard-earned money, especially if you live in Colorado where they just like salting the roads and mag chloring the roads, tears up any chrome, whether it's cheap or it's Ford or it's Chevy chrome or Ram chrome, trashes it all. So we are going to do the simple install. Again, it is a 24 Ram 3500 crew, so this is considered the classic body style. Even though it's 24, the Ram HDs have not changed really. The cab, out exterior doors and everything haven't really changed since probably 2013, 15-ish, and probably even longer before that. So you'll be fine ordering a set for a 22 or a 23. Just make sure you make sure that the steps are for a crew cab or a mega cab. Those will be the only true differences, because those ones typically are a smidge longer and the bolt holes are probably going to be different than a crew. So one thing I found over the years of buying these is they just always come packaged well. I mean, I've bought stuff from Lear, I bought stuff from Lund, Vern over the last 30 years, and it just doesn't come as packaged as well as these. So this comes with your instruction manual. You only need a couple tools. This set actually came with a pair of gloves, whatever. Neat. Again, these are going to be the chrome steps. There are going to be 3 brackets on each side. I know some people say, well, I would feel more comfortable if there's 4. Trust me, these will hold like 350 pounds of sheer weight. So if somebody is of that size trying to get in, they're still not putting traditionally all that weight on there. They're already starting to make that moving into the truck. So really, this is 350 proportionate weight across the thing or directly on it before it bends or have any issues. So 3 brackets are fine. Super simple tools, no drill. So let's get it unboxed. All right, guys, again, for under 150 bucks, you cannot beat the quality of the way these things are. Again, you have a nice plastic composite, super grippy. Even when it's wet, it's not slick. They're nice looking. You got caps on both ends. And then if we take a look in here, look at this hardware. I mean, it's legitimate. I mean, this is really no different. Go look under your Super Duty and look at those ones. It's a hollow shell. It's not a sealed tube. Very generic. It's not a big deal. Again, because these serve one purpose. That's to take a beating of you getting in and out. It takes a beating of collecting, you know, road grime as you're driving through snow and mud and whatnot. But for under 150 bucks, you can't beat it. Now, when it comes out of the box, one side of brackets is facing one way. I always just keep those separate because they're typically marked. I haven't, you know, bought boards in a year, so I guess they could have changed something small. These boards are typically universal, so either board will work for either side. But literally, you're going to need a socket, a ratchet, and I think it's like a 13 mil. And that's really about it. And you're going to use one of those tools like I will put in the description. It helps pull like upholstery panels, interior panels, and I think everybody should have them in their garage because they're little plastic tools, so they don't mar anything, they don't scratch any paint. Those are going to help you pull the plugs out. But yeah, we will get to pulling the plugs out, check out the instructions, and then get these bad boys installed. By yourself, you can probably do this in about an hour or less if you've done it before. If you have help, probably 20 minutes. And as long as you have the tools and stuff, this is not anything you guys need to be afraid of trying. Again, there's no way to screw this up. So it's very self-explanatory. All right, guys, so super simple. Your hardware pack's gonna come like this, or in a bag. It gives you two different types. I'm gonna tell you where you're gonna use these on the Ram, because the Ram doesn't fit the way this instruction says. It says if you have threaded holes, you're going to use this method. The Ram does not, so you're going to use method 2A, where you're going to use these, I guess, flange type 8mm. They're calling them a plate bolt. And then your bottom ones are actually going to go in this way. So super simple. Let's get underneath there. You don't need to remove any of this tape that plugs the holes. You can wipe it down or get it cleaned up. Obviously, you don't want dirt mashed between this, so clean that off. But basically, these are going to go on the back side of the plate and hook right here. All right, so these basically go on the inside of these holes, so you won't mess it up. There's no other holes that match it. So I'll show you on the other side. This side I already did, but basically you're just going to kind of put it to the back of the hole, put the plate over it, and then start your nut and bolt. Then your lower ones, the instructions show this going out. I wouldn't want this pointing out. It's not as attractive, so I went the opposite way. It shouldn't affect it. You want to make sure this is level on both sides before you snug it up. So you're going to make sure these are all about the same before you put the board on. If you want, you can leave them semi-loose till you get the board on, just to ease in it. That's what I've always done, is leave them kind of loose, so that way you don't have any adjustment issues, and then you tighten it all down at one time. So now we're going to go get the board and we're going to put it on here, and then I will show you on the other side what the holes look like before you put these on. But you can leave all the tape on there. Mine's clean, so I just wiped it off real quick. We're good to go. But just leave them kind of loose. Now let's get the board handy. Okay, so the boards are going to have these 3 brackets. This is semi-sharp in here, so watch your fingers, but they put this blue wrap on it. You'll need to remove the back side. And that is going to be a 12mm socket. So have those handy, because you can leave this one in, because that's going to go on this open piece of the bracket. So you'll just line that up, and then you'll drop in the other back bolt. All right, so now laying down, you can see where we got this one started. Get that all lined up. This will ride on that top of that bracket. So we're gonna get the other bolts in set inside there, and then we'll get that look at what it looks like. All right, guys, once you get done, get the other board mounted, get it lined up where you want it. I would suggest sliding this all the way forward, the actual board itself, so it matches kind of close to the front tire, versus hanging over the back end where the cab meets the bed. Then you're gonna just tighten these down. They have anti-spin nuts on them, so you can put some blue Loctite. I would not put red on there. Red's permanent, so if you want, you can put blue on there. I didn't bother. But you can get underneath here and check after 1,000 miles or so and see if it's rattled loose. I don't think it's going to. Once you slide the board up, you're gonna need a 12 socket to tighten these all the way down until they're done. Again, leave all the tape on, and let's see what it looks like all on. All right, guys, so this is what the board looks like. If you want black, they come in black. This company makes tube steps. I wanted the flat ones just because that's similar to what my other Ram had on it. And again, I did slide this up so it was basically all the way maxed out in the back and kind of lined up here. Otherwise, it was kind of back here. Just looked a little odd. But yeah. Again, under 130 bucks. I'll put the link in the thing. They are plenty sturdy. They look good on here. The chrome holds up decent, just as well. So about 4 or 5 years before you even see anything, as long as you wax them, that'll help a ton. And then again, like I said, so these are plenty sturdy, so you can stand on them all day of the week. Wax I weigh about 215, but you can get up there and wax your roof on there with that, and not sweat it. We'll wipe them down, and then again from the back, that's what they look like, nice and flat. So rinse and repeat, do the same procedure on the other side. I promised you guys I'd get under here and show you You don't need to uncover this hole at all. So when you see these hexagon holes, like the top of a bolt, those are your mount points. These are going to be your pre-drilled pinch weld bracket holes that they call it in the thing. So you'll see your mount there, here. So repeat that procedure on the other side. You'll need a 12 and a 13 mil. That's really it. You won't even need a wrench. You're just going to need a socket. And again, filming and everything, it took me about 40 minutes, but you could easily do this on your own. And again, just check it after a while, guys. I know a while back some people were busting my chops because they said, these running boards are from China. Well, most of the stuff is anyway. Very little stuff is made in the US anymore, but this is an easy, inexpensive way for you to have safety, setting aside the whole made in China whatever thing. It doesn't really matter to me in certain respects to that, because I've seen how well the Ford steps hold up and the Chevy steps hold up, and they are easily 5 times, 6 times more expensive. And even the Laverne ones, yeah, they might be made in the US and stuff like that, but the quality just isn't much better than what you're getting there. So link in the description to head over to that auto store to get those if you want to off the Zon. Install will be the same no matter what version you get. Tube steps, black running boards, the other ones and stuff like that. The mounting locations are going to be the same, and the same way to basically mount the stuff is going to be about identical. So hopefully that helped. Head down there in the subscribe button and give me a like if you don't mind. And I do turn all my own wrenches on about 99% of the stuff I do with the truck, except for heavy required maintenance or repair. I don't do that, but usually good maintenance will help prevent heavy need of repair. So yeah, can't be a good automotive channel if I don't also know how to work on the crap that I got. So hopefully that helped, guys. We'll see you on the next one.